over the past few weeks, basically every single night, we have been discussing this People's Initiative campaign on the ground, as well as the controversy surrounding it. But now it has come to this. The number of signatures gathered for this campaign to amend the 1987 Constitution has reportedly hit the required 12% of all registered voters. Now, this claim was made by House Ways and Means Committee Chairman and Albay Congressman Joey Salceda. According to Salceda, 12.1% of registered voters in the country have provided their signatures in support of the People's Initiative for Charter Change. Aside from that, Salceda says that proponents of the People's Initiative were also able to gather at least 3% of voters' signatures per district, which is also the other requirement under the Constitution. So, what's the next move? Let's hear it from Representative Salceda.
We have already reached the mandate of the people. So the Constitution should operate as provided.
Kailan po yung actual filing ng petition?
Well, talagang inaayos lang, syempre. And of course, I think the request for validation by the COMELEC, I think is the necessary next step.
Does the percentage reported by Salceda reflect the actual number of signatures received by the COMELEC? Let's bring in JC Cosico to answer that. JC?
Walma said the figures will still have to undergo verification, but for now, the COMELEC shared that based on their actual data, they have received signature forms from over 1,000 towns and cities across the nation. Here's COMELEC Chairman George Garcia explaining their estimates.
May mga nakita po kami ng mga signatures sa isang distrito, halimbawa more than 20% pa. Merong distrito na more than 15%. Madami po halos ng mga distrito ay sumusobra sa 3%.
Among the advocates of the People's Initiative is the group PIRMA, which stands for People's Initiative for Reform and Action. They are among those gathering signatures for the campaign. In an interview at the Kapihan sa Manila Bay, the group debunked the alleged signature buying happening on the ground. But they say their campaign may take 3 more months to finish.
Magpapile kami as soon as we reach the number, the threshold, the minimum threshold that the law has required of us. Tingin po namin, kaya po yan.
But if you ask the COMELEC, it's unlikely for a plebiscite for the People's Initiative to take place this year and in 2025, as it will be preparing for 2 polls for next year. These are the midterm elections and the barangay and SK polls.
Kung naipal nila na maagad, sana mas maaga din po na kaya po namin. Yung January to April, crucial po yun sa COMELEC. Sapagkat dyan po tayo magpiprint ng mga balota, dyan po tayo mag-cleansing ng mga list of voters.
Garcia says that if the plebiscite can be held by October this year because of time constraints, it will most likely be pushed to 2026 at the earliest. But apart from time issues, COMELEC notes that they are also short on budget. They say some 13 billion pesos will be needed for the plebiscite under the People's Initiative. So even if submissions are on time, the COMELEC says they don't have funds to hold a plebiscite this year. Garcia says to make this possible, they would have to resort to requesting additional funds, which could either be a supplemental budget or it could come from the President's Contingency Fund. Back to you.
Thanks for that report, JC Cosico.